If you cannot create the cognitive and emotional experience in the classroom that allows people to open up to learning, then it doesn't matter too much what content you put in front of them. In most teaching, at least at a university setting, I would argue that the attention before you get to the classroom is almost all content focused, very little pedagogy focus. So it's information delivery, right? That's what the focus is. Maybe you learn a little bit about the teaching techniques. When in fact, the learning should be built something much more like this, where there's a big base of course climate, then you lay the teaching techniques on, then the content can be delivered. A lot of people are uncomfortable thinking about potentially reducing the volume, the volume of content delivered, but if your content is delivered on a weak pedagogy and students don't feel like they are safe to learn, then I don't care how much content you throw at them, it's not sticking. I would rather narrow the size of the hose of information and skills that are being transmitted and be fairly sure that they can go into a receptacle that can hold it, than have a bigger hose that just goes right in the receptacle and right out the other side. You have to create an environment where people are going to be able to learn. Intentionally creating a space where people can bring their whole selves in, where they can feel like they can ask questions and they're not afraid to be wrong in front of the instructor, and same with their peers.
I really think that Ward really strives to keep his classroom a welcoming space for everyone, and while we do have those difficult conversations sometimes, he always does try and make sure that everyone feels comfortable. We actually get assigned a group at the beginning of the semester, and then you really work with that group throughout the semester. He really had us get to know our groups, and you'd find things out about your group that you wouldn't know just like looking at someone, like their background, their religious beliefs, their just different parts about who they are that you wouldn't think would have a huge impact on how your group runs, but it actually, knowing those things, I think, kind of helps the group work together.
Different people have different perspectives. Like I'm from China, he's from America, the other guy's from India, and one of the guys, he's in military, and he kind of a lot older than us. We come from different families, different incomes, listening to other students, how they view on different topics.
Just that level of understanding that exists within that classroom where we all understand that we want to make the world a better place, and the only way to do that is through having difficult conversations, and I feel very comfortable having those conversations with these people because we have gotten to know each other a little bit.
I get to know the students as whole people, and they're really amazing, interesting people, and a lot of them have gone through a lot of stuff that gives them a lot of depth as human beings. It'll make them great planners and great public servants.
Personally, I'm way more invested in this course than I think I would be if it was X plus Y in a city I was reading out of our textbook. Understanding that what you're learning is so important because it's what you take away after.
If we want to be able to talk about real issues in our courses like housing discrimination, transportation inequity in terms of access, if we want to talk about climate change, if we want to talk about issues that matter, they're going to be emotional. And we're going to have different points of entry and different reactions that are conditioned based on identities that are assigned to us, based on identities that we choose, and based on identities that are sort of inflexible inside us. And so these things are all going on in the classroom all the time, and planning is like a huge part of what we want to do is have folks go out and facilitate, encourage processes that allow us to engage with these issues. So we better start working on it, and we better be transparent and overt because this is part of what you'll be asked to do in your work. So let's do it here.